Hey everyone, and welcome to the Zone of Tech. I'm Daniel, and in my previous video I reviewed the iPad Air 2, the second generation iPad Air, Apple's latest and greatest tablet. So yeah, this guy right here. But this was not the only tablet that Apple updated this fall. They've also updated the iPad mini lineup with the iPad mini 3, this guy. So let's take a look at all the new features that the new mini comes with. This is my iPad mini 3 review. Enjoy. So there's not really much to say about the iPad mini 3. In case you've seen my iPad Air 2 review, you already know what an iPad is used for and what it can do. And the iPad mini 3 is essentially the same thing, only smaller. It's an exact replica of the iPad Air. Not the iPad Air 2, but an exact replica of the iPad Air 1, the first generation iPad Air. That's because the iPad mini 3 is in fact closer to the Air 1 than it is to the Air 2 in terms of its design and specs. So last year when Apple introduced the iPad Air, both the iPad Air and the mini were pretty much exact copies of one another. They had the exact same CPU, the same amount of RAM, even the same design. The only difference between the two was the form factor, since the iPad mini was pretty much a mini version of the iPad Air. And the second difference was that the mini only had a 60% RGB color gamut when compared to the 100% one that the Air came with. What this meant was a lower contrast and more washed out colors on the mini. Now this year what Apple did with the mini 3 was changing a few things. The first and biggest change is that it now comes with a Touch ID sensor. Same as with the iPhones and the iPad Air 2, you can now unlock your iPad mini by simply using your fingerprint. You can also pay for apps in the App Store, but other than that, there's not much that you can do with it. Yes, you can use Apple Pay with this, but obviously only in the online stores and apps due to its size. The second change is the fact that it now comes in gold, alongside the already existing silver and space gray colors. The third change is that... wait. There is no third change. This is it. It comes in gold, and you also get that Touch ID sensor. But other than that, you get nothing. What this means is that you're essentially paying $100 more just for that Touch ID sensor, since the iPad mini 2, so the previous generation, is now $100 cheaper. The iPad mini 3 is essentially an iPad mini 2. Since, again, except for that Touch ID sensor, you get the same design which is significantly thicker than the iPad Air 2. You get the same cameras, the same CPU, even the same amount of RAM. So 1 GB instead of 2 GB of RAM like you get with the iPad Air 2. And don't forget about the display, it's still the same Retina display as last year. And no, unfortunately, it's not laminated like the one you get with the iPad Air 2. And we still have that 60% color gamut instead of the 100% one like we get with the Air. So really washed out colors when compared to something like an iPad Air 2, for example. But no, don't get me wrong, the iPad mini 3 is still a great tablet. It's thin, it's light, so it's really portable. The display is still really good, at least in terms of the viewing angles and resolution. The performance is outstanding, and besides all this, you have that huge app market, the App Store. As of today, there are over 675,000 iPad-only apps, compared to Android, which lags far behind with just over 1,000 optimized tablet apps. And in the end, it all comes to apps. Each app makes your device do more. It makes it smarter. It's like building a castle, brick by brick. The more bricks you have, the larger the castle you can build. The larger the castle, the more powerful you are. So here's my advice. If you need a tablet and money or size are not an issue, then just get the iPad Air 2, the second generation iPad Air. That's by far the best tablet out there, even though the full review on that links in the description box down below. Now if you're looking for a small portable tablet, then get the Nexus 7. Not the Nexus 9, this is the Nexus 9 by the way, so don't get this, get the Nexus 7. So the previous generation, the previous. As you probably know, Google discontinued the Nexus 7, but this means that you can get it cheaper on, I don't know, Amazon, eBay, you might still find it there. So Nexus 7, definitely the best choice if you're looking for a small, portable, affordable tablet. But if you're looking for a small, portable tablet that runs iOS on Apple tablet, then the iPad mini 2, not this guy, this is the iPad mini 3, but the iPad mini 2, the previous model, is your best bet. It's $100 cheaper, and you get the exact same experience that you get with the previous model, the iPad mini 2. Obviously minus the Touch ID sensor. And fun fact, the Touch ID sensor costs $5 to produce. $5. And Apple sells this for $100, so someone's clearly getting ripped off here. And that's not Apple. So again, unless Touch ID is something you simply cannot live without, get the iPad mini 2, the second generation iPad mini. not this one. But an even better deal is to actually get a first generation iPad Air, since it's basically the same price as the iPad mini 3. Yes, you do get the exact same specs, but you also get a larger and more vivid display with, once again, 100% color gamut compared to the iPad mini's 60% color gamut. So there you go, this was my review of the iPad mini 3. Let me know in the comment section down below what tablet you are currently using, that's if you're using one. And also feel free to hit that thumbs up button down there if you have enjoyed this video. And also feel free to share it with anyone interested in purchasing a tablet for this holiday season. And speaking of this holiday season, we are really close to, guess what? 100,000 subscribers. 100,000 people who actually subscribe to this channel to watch those tech videos, to watch my tech videos. This is awesome. This is absolutely mind-blowing. Yeah, it's... actually I have no words for this. So you probably know what this means, right? Huge giveaway video coming soon, so thumbs up for that as well. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video. I'm Daniel, and I'll see you in my next one. Son of Tech, signing out. Cheers. $100,000 subscribers. Mind blowing.